Hi there. So if you're watching this video, you're probably a linguist who would like to work together with our team here at Taia Translations. Welcome, my name is Matija and let's get you started. So first of all, you can visit our website at taia.io and click on the Start Free button in the top right corner, or you can simply go to the translate.taia.io, which is where our platform lives. So once you're there, you're going to see a login screen where you can just sign up with your Google account, or you can click on sign up now and create a new account with a password. Now, once you're in, you'll be able to start using the Taia platform. It's very easy to use, so on the left side, you'll see your existing projects that you've created, and on the right side, you'll be able to create new projects if you ever want to start using the platform as a user. But today we're going to be focusing more on how you can become a vendor, so a part of our team of linguists, and how you will be able to receive assignments, accept those assignments, work in our translation tool, and then submit those assignments and of course get paid for them. So let's get you started. First of all, let's go to the profiles section in the bottom left side. So you can see here, you can click on your name and then go into your profile card and set up your profile photo, in your profile name, and maybe also set some notifications so that you know which messages you'll get in the app's notification bar at the top right, or also in your email inbox. But once you're done with those basics, let's scroll down all the way to this little fella here that says, are you a linguist? Create your vendor profile. So this is where you're going to be able to create your profile and eventually also manage and edit your localization profile. Your vendor profile. So let's just go ahead and click on this. Perfect. And now we're in our vendor profile. So let's go ahead and create our profile. I'm going to pause this for a few seconds because it's pretty straightforward. Now, once you're done with this first tab, just click Save Settings and then move on to Language Combinations. So you can see I already have some language combinations set up here, but to create more combinations, just click on Add Price and then select your source language. So for example, if you're translating from English into whatever other language, you will probably want to create both combinations, English UK as well as English US, to your target language. So in my case, let's make a new combination. So we'll set up English UK to Slovenian, which is my native language. And then I'm gonna select a service, in this case, machine translation post-editing. Subject, let's say I'm pretty good at technical translations, so I want to do that. And I'm going to set up my price here just to make sure that I'm getting paid for my translations with the desired price. And that's it. It's pretty straightforward. Just make sure you do this for all of the language pairs you do in both directions. So for example, in my case, I want to do also Slovenian to English UK and add that as well. And I also want to make sure I can do revisions. So for example, translations from English UK to Slovenian. I want to do revisions as well, so I'm going to select that and add my price for my revisions. Pretty straightforward, right? If you have any questions here, don't hesitate to reach out. Just click on this chat option here and send us a message. All right, and now once you're done with this, only one more detail left to do, and that is go to your professional experience tab and fill in your education, your LinkedIn profile, your experience level, and most importantly, attach your CV or any other certificates and files that give you credibility and make sure that our team of vendor managers can then recognize you as a high quality linguist. So that's pretty easy and simple to set up. Now, once we do this, let me just pause and fill this. And I've filled this in, so now all I have to do is just click Save here. Now, as you can read here, our vendor management team will now review this profile and get in touch with you. Make sure that you go through all of the vendor management processes and onboarding, and that we have all the details we need on board so that we can get started working with you. So this was our first stage. We've created our profile, we've created our vendor profile, and we've put in all the details that were required to be able to work with the Taia localization team. Now, next up, I'm going to show you how you will receive notifications about assigned tasks and how you can then process those tasks in the Taia platform. So stay tuned. Okay, so now our vendor profile was approved by the admin, and in the top right corner of our app, you'll see there's a notification bar, which now has a red glowing item showing us that there's a new assignment available. I'm going to click on this assignment and I'll be able to review it. I also received an email with this assignment, so just make sure you're always following your email or your notifications in the app so you don't miss any assignments. So in this case, the project is called Vendor Demo. It's a machine translation post-editing task, and it's awaiting my response. The language pair is English to Slovenian, which we've set up earlier, and the payment information is actually a calculation from what my price per word was and what my total words are. Now I've put this dummy price here. Of course, you're going to put your own prices here. And now I have about 4 hours left to respond to this task. So what happens if I don't respond? Well, in that case, the task will go on to the next vendor in the assignment queue. But if I respond in time, then I'll be able to start working on this task. Now, my project manager didn't leave any specific instructions here, but they could do so we can see any special instructions related to this specific assignment. But there's also private messages here, so I can also go ahead and send a message to our project manager just to make sure I have all the information required about this project before I decide to accept it. Cool, let me go and accept this. All right, and now you can see we have the assignment accepted up here. And what we can do now is we can go ahead and open the translation editor. So this assignment is now a binding job for us. We have to finish it in time. Usually there would also be a due date. Now in this demo, I didn't put a due date in, but we can go ahead and open the translation editor and start working on the task. All right, let's go ahead and do that. So Taia has its own private built-in translation editor or CAT tool. And as you can see, it's pretty clean and pretty standard. On the top, you'll see the basics about this project. You can also search through the segments and filter them. And on the left side, there's a sidebar that you can collapse and open, and you can then also expand it if you want to have more details or just make it smaller. And here is where you will also see the translation memory in case it's attached to the project. You can also copy any items from the translation memory directly into the target text. You can also search through the translation memory. You will be able to see the glossary terms and make sure that you're adhering to the glossary at all times. And also see the history of any segment that you've translated. Now this is still in early development, so if you guys have any ideas or feature requests or bug reports, make sure to let me know. We update the app regularly, almost on a daily basis, so we can update everything pretty quickly. So it's a pretty simple to use CAT tool. On the left side, as you're used to, you'll see the source text. On the right side, you'll see the target text. And what we're going to do now is just make some corrections here to make sure that this sounds properly. Now, what we can see here then is a number of tags are in the original text. So this word here, whisker-filled, was written in bold. So there's like a tag surrounding it that would make this a strong letter. But in our translation, somehow the AI apparently missed one of those tags, and there's only the opening tag. As you can see, there's the number 1 here. Let me just zoom in so you can see this a little bit better. But it's missing the closing tag. So why don't we grab this tag, move it over to where it's actually supposed to be, or maybe even better, we can just delete it, go over to the word whisker-filled and click on the formatting tags here to insert it, as well as the second one. So this bottom section here is at all times going to show you all of the tags that should be available in the target content, and paint them green if they are available and red if they're not. The only thing you have to be careful of is to make sure that they're in the correct order. So opening tag on the left side, and then the closing tag, which includes the slash character, on the right side. And that's basically it. So let's say we're happy with this translation, although I'm not really happy with how it reads, but for the sake of this demo, let's say it's okay. We're just going to save this and move on. Now, as you've probably noticed, there's a progress bar at the bottom of the screen where we can see what our progress is. So now we're at 21 words at about 5% complete, and we've edited 2 segments out of 65 segments, and we haven't confirmed any segments without editing them, which is good because we want to make sure that we actually do some corrections and editing. And that's basically it. So now that you know how to sign up, you know how to create a vendor profile, you know how to accept and review a task, you also know how to use the translation editor tool, and you can just go through all of these segments and make sure you're happy with how the translation reads. Don't forget about all the regular rules about translating. You want to probably go ahead and review your work before you submit it. Make sure that it adheres to any translation memory items that sound correct. Also make sure that it adheres to the style guide that you might have received from the project manager in the app. And you also want to make sure that it adheres to the glossary so that your terminology is on point. Now, once you're done, just go back on the assignment. So at the top, you'll click on the assignment button. You can then scroll down, maybe ask any questions or attach any comments if you need to. But most importantly, once you're done, you can just go ahead and submit this for review so that your project manager knows that you're done with this task. So I'll just submit this. You'll be reminded of what the rules are and submit for review. All right, so our task is now submitted for review. It's going to be reviewed by the project manager, and there's nothing more for you to do here except wait for the response back from your project manager. And that's basically it. So the app is very easy to use. You can always find all of your assignments in your profile. Just go to My Assignments. So there's this card here with all of your assignments that just popped up now that we have some of them. And you can see that we have this task here, or you can also switch over to the grid screen so you can see your projects more effectively this way. So that's it. I hope you like our new platform. I'm really looking forward to your feedback. There's a lot of changes coming still. We're still in very much active development. And don't forget, Taia is currently in the beta version. So there's a lot that might still be kind of weird or needs corrections or whatever. But we're looking forward to your feedback, and we are updating regularly. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this was entertaining and educational. Let me know if you have any questions, and stay in touch. Bye-bye.